Listen to Love of Life by Jack London. Level A1. Oxford Reading University.
2 men walk along the river. They are tired and weak. They have guns in their hands. They step into the river and walk toward the other bank. The water is icy cold. One of them shakes and nearly falls. He cries in pain. "Bill, I have hurt my ankle." The other man walks on. He doesn't even look back. Soon he is at the other bank. He passes over a hill and disappears. "Bill," the man in the river calls out. He is alone. He looks around and cries. It is the end of July, but summer is cold near the Arctic Circle. There is no sun in the sky. There are no trees on the hills around him. "I am standing in the Coppermine River in the northwest of Canada," the man thinks. "If I walk along the river, I will come to the Arctic Ocean." He puts his bag over his shoulder and moves forward slowly. He tries not to pay attention to the pain. He walks up the hill where he last saw Bill. He sees footsteps on the ground and follows them. The bottom of the valley is wet and soft. Soon I will see a river, he thinks. I will follow it and find our secret place. There is a lot of food in that place. Bill is going to be there waiting for me. Then we will go south together. He finds some berries on his way and eats them. He hasn't eaten anything in 2 days. Soon the sun is down. The man sits on the ground. He gets some grass and makes a fire. He puts a bowl of water on the fire. Then he tries to warm himself. His feet are cold and covered in blood. His ankle is swollen. He drinks the hot water and falls asleep. When the man wakes up in the morning, everything around him is gray. The river, the ground, the sky. There are no trees, no sunlight. He cannot understand where north or south are. I can't lose my way, he thinks. I will find Bill very soon.
If you want more English audiobooks with translations and transcriptions, try Iwa app today. Listen, read, learn new words, and dive into the world of adventure, crime, romance, and magic every day. iwaapp.com.
He packs his things. He has one small bag that is very heavy. It is full of gold. He holds the bag with both hands and looks around angrily. Nobody will take my gold from me, he thinks. Soon the man starts walking again. He moves slowly. His stomach starts hurting even more than his ankle. He is very, very hungry. He can think of nothing but food. He eats some berries, but they are not enough to fill his stomach. He makes a fire and drinks some hot water. He falls asleep and dreams of all kinds of food cooked in all possible ways. When he wakes up, the sky seems even darker than before. The first snow has already covered the tops of the hills. The air slowly grows white and cold. Soon it is snowing. He has no fire anymore. He drinks some water, packs his things again, and moves on. All he can feel or think of is hunger. He eats grass, but it has no taste and doesn't fill his stomach. Then the snow covers the ground. He can't even find any grass or berries. The next day, the man is not hungry anymore. He is so weak that he feels no pain either. Finally, he takes his bag with gold. He cuts it, takes half of the gold out, and hides it under a big rock. He puts the other half back in the bag and moves on. He knows that he lost his way long ago. He meets deer on his way more and more often. Also, there are wolves. Later, he finds 2 small fish in a pool of water. They are not longer than his little finger. He catches them and eats them alive. The next day, he finds a small nest. There are 4 little birds in it. He eats them alive one by one. Then he falls to the ground and sleeps until morning. Another gray day comes. The man throws the rest of the gold away. He moves on, carrying only his metal bowl and his gun. He looks around and shouts in surprise. There is a horse in front of him. But then he looks closer. It isn't a horse, but a big brown bear. The man catches the gun, but then remembers there are no bullets in it. He draws a knife from the pocket of his pants. He is ready to attack. He will kill the bear and eat its meat. But then he feels afraid. What if the bear kills me first, he thinks. If I run, it will run after me. He stands still and doesn't move. The bear lets out a terrible roar and moves toward the man. The man shouts back at the bear. The animal looks at him in surprise. It doesn't understand why the man is not afraid of it. Soon it leaves. The man moves on. Now he is afraid of wild animals more than hunger. Soon he finds some animal bones. Maybe I will be dead by the end of the day too, he thinks. But dying doesn't hurt. It is only life that hurts. Dying is sleeping. Then why am I afraid of dying? One snowy day follows another. He doesn't sleep at night anymore. He falls to the ground when he feels tired and sleeps for a few minutes. Sometimes he can't even stand on his feet. Then he falls to his knees and continues moving forward. It isn't him who fights for life anymore. It is the life in him that doesn't want to die. One day he falls asleep in the morning. When he opens his eyes again, the sun is shining bright in the sky. He stands up and looks around. He sees a big river that joins the sea. There is a ship in the distance. Is this a fantasy, he thinks, and closes his eyes. Then opens them again. The ship is still there. Suddenly he hears some noise behind his back. He turns around and sees the gray head of a wolf. The animal seems old and sick. It looks hard at the man. At least this is real, he thinks. He turns to the ship again. He realizes that the river in front of him is the copper mine. The sea is the Arctic Ocean. The man tries to think clearly. He is weak and tired, but he stands up and walks toward the ship. The wolf follows him. He walks all day. He moves as fast as a dying man can. At night, the wolf sits close to him, waiting for him to die. The next day, the man drinks some hot water. He feels strong enough to stand and walk. In the afternoon, he finds someone's footprints on the ground. He remembers Bill, but doesn't feel anything. he is no longer hungry or in pain. He follows the footsteps and soon comes to their end. A dead man's bones lie on the wet ground. There are marks of wolves' feet around them. The man notices a bag on the ground, the same as his own. The wolves tore it with their teeth. Some gold coins fell on the ground. Bill never left his gold, the man thinks. He laughs loudly. Bill left me, but I am not going to take his gold or eat his meat. I am not like him. That day he comes 3 miles closer to the ship, and 2 more miles the next day. Now he is too weak to walk. He falls to his knees and moves on. His knees leave 2 bloody lines in the ground. The wolf licks them hungrily. It is not going to get me, the man thinks. After all I have been through, I am not going to let some old sick wolf eat me. It is so stupid to die here. The next day, he can't even come 1 mile closer to the ship. He falls to the ground, dreams, then wakes again. Then he feels the wolf's tongue on his arm. He raises the other arm and catches the wolf's face. He can't kill it with his hands, so he presses his head against the wolf's neck. His mouth is full of wolf hair. Half an hour later, the man feels the wolf's blood in his mouth. It tastes terrible, like burning metal. Then he falls to his back and sleeps. The seamen on the ship notice a strange object on the land. They come to the beach to look at it. At first they think that it is a big worm. Then they realize it is a man. 3 weeks later, the man is finally awake. He lies in bed on the ship. He tells his story to the seamen and cries. He talks about his mother and his beautiful house in Southern California. Soon he sits at the table with the seamen. There is so much food on the table that he cannot believe his eyes. He shakes every time a piece of food goes into another man's mouth. He is afraid that soon they will run out of food. He comes to see the cook every day and asks him, "Do we have enough food?" The seamen notice that he gets fat. Soon they find the reason for it. The man walks around the ship after breakfast and asks other seamen for some biscuits. They come into his room and find lots of biscuits under his bed. They only laugh at him. He is afraid, they say. He tries to save some food in case hunger comes. He will get better soon. And he does, before the ship comes to a stop in the port of San Francisco.
Share this video with your friends who like listening to stories in English. And now, listen to another audiobook.